It's a question that's got a lot of people talking. How does the government of Belize justify spending $2.5 million a year just on rent? Every month, over $200,000 is being paid out across 15 ministries to house public officers. That's a hefty bill coming straight from taxpayers' pockets. These rental deals are signed off by the Ministry of Public Service, led by Minister Henry Charles Usher. So is this money well spent, or could it be better used elsewhere?
We are trying our best to make sure that those contracts are kept to within what you can find commercially. Now you have to understand, when the Government of Belize rents from a landlord for a commercial space, they are competing with other tenants, other commercial tenants. One of the highest paying commercial tenants are the BPOs, and so they drive up the cost of these office buildings. So I wish there was a government rate that the landlord would provide to government. There isn't. So we compete, but we want to make sure that the offices are good.
Here's something that's raising even more eyebrows. Did you know the Government of Belize is paying rent to the same landlord for not one but two major ministries in Belize City? That's right. The Immigration and Nationality Office on the Northern Highway and the Central Health Region Office on Coney Drive are both housed in buildings owned by the late H.D. Thompson. And get this, the government is shelling out $18,000 a month just to rent 5 floors for the Central Health Region alone. What's more surprising, that office used to sit on government-owned land right next to KHMH.
The reason why the Ministry of Health moved was because the building that they were in was condemned. So now that we have moved them out, we need to do the renovations on that building so that we can put them back in there, or if KHMH will be expanded to be able to use. As you said, it's right next to KHMH. Again, it's about making sure that the buildings that our public officers are in, the offices that they are in, that they don't, it's not something that's making them sick, it's that they have all of the proper amenities needed to get their job done.
There's not a case where this family is being favored.
It's a case of availability. What is available for the needs of the particular department or ministry, and that is the primary choice.
And then there's the Ministry of Blue Economy's office on Seashore Drive. The government is paying $14,000 monthly to rent that property. We understand the owner of that to be one Stanley Hoy. Do you justify entering into an agreement with him and paying $14,000 for that?
I believe that we looked at, again, the square footage, the cost per square footage, to make sure that it fell within the parameters that government has set. We don't want to go outside of those parameters. And we found that it was conducive to what the Ministry of Blue Economy needed.
That was only 5 years ago being rented for $4,500. How do you justify that jump?
At the time, I believe it was residential before, so you have to look at the difference between residential and commercial properties. When it was being rented for that price, it was for a residential rate, which is less. No person is going to pay above a certain amount to live in a house, no matter if it's on the seaside, beachside, no matter what it is. For an office space, the rent is different. It's based on square footage, and that's what I'm saying. Once it falls within the parameter of the square footage that government has set, then then it's justified.
In Belmopan, the government is paying $22,000 to an unnamed Asian national to rent office space for the Immigration and Nationality Department. Who are we paying $22,000 to for the Ministry of Immigration? My understanding is that it's an Asian national.
I'm not sure which building that would be. I don't know the name of the landlord in that particular case, but again, we have to look at the square footage to see exactly how much of the building is being rented and what is the price per square foot.
Isn't it in your ministry's interest to know who these people are?
Of course, and we do. We have all the files for everybody. I'm just saying off the top of my head, I can't recall who that would be.
We challenged Minister Usher to release the names of every landlord the government rents from.
Of course, there are contractual obligations on certain things, but once the Attorney General's ministry says that it's okay, then I don't have a problem. Like I said, it's the people's money, and it's not anything that is not already known.
We will hold the Minister of Public Service, Henry Charles Usher, to his commitment. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.